Hello, ADD fan people, ADD constituents, friends, foe, favorites, and fucktards. So, just one quick one before we get started on today's video. There's a guy that, and his name's Bird Brain Drug Stories, who a friend requests me, and he goes back and erases it. I know for sure it's this guy. It's either him or Cray are the only two people butthurt that I've offended. So they think it's cool, to play with me, toy with me. I'll get a view and it said hit 190, for instance, and I go back and it says 189. So that's some dirtball shit, but whatever. Grow up. Anywho, so today's story is dun, 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 I don't know yet. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. No, I'm just kidding. I already had this one thought out. Are we ready? Let's go. The year was 2000. I don't know. Excuse me. I was 21. Whatever year that was. Okay, it doesn't even really matter. At a certain point in time, I was 21, and my friend Eric and Scott both become pretty heavy, and another friend of mine, Fuji. And Fuji was actually the biggest of the three. But the three of those guys were large drug dealers. Eric, my friend, the one who's seen the video, he was a very large cocaine distributor. And so I've discussed in stories, you heard me say it on the video, I left his house right before he got raided. Literally, another one of these pins and needles. I left 5 minutes later, after me and my girlfriend left. They were raided. There was a dining room table, right? Long table. And there's dudes sitting at the table, and there's a drug for every drug that there is. There's a drug dealer for it. A guy at the table, and he's got his shit sitting out, right? So this dining room table looks like some Scarface shit, right? And, it was giving me a bad vibe. It scared me, worried me. So me and my girlfriend, Tom, we normally would have stayed and hung out, but we both, gotten our stuff in our gut. We had to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? There was another guy, a friend of my girlfriend's at the time, Natalie. She and Eric and her had this friend that I didn't know, Emerson, right? So Emerson is one of these, way out there dudes too. The guy's parents were rich, okay? So he was a big-time drug dealer, right? And honest to God, like I said, I'm giving you people's names. You can fact check me. At whatever Emerson did, he was filmed on Cops. They have him. I haven't seen the episode, but I've heard the story that he's on Cops. That they chased him from Marietta, to all the way to Savannah, 2 hours on motorcycle. He eluded the police, and so he had just gotten out of prison at this time. He's one of the guys at this table, right? There's this guy, and now my friend Eric, the one you see, he become best friends with this guy. Eric was already heavy into selling drugs on a large scale anyways, okay? You saw Eric's house. His parents had money. I don't know what his dad, I don't remember, but, wealthy, crazy wealthy. So he's probably a spoiled rich kid. We weren't friends until a certain time, right? But he knew, we were in the same grade. We knew who each other was. And there again, one of my attributes and downfall is attention seeking, right? It's another label in ADD. It's common. So I'm always attention seeking, was as a kid, still am today, but anyways, so I didn't know, Eric knew me, and I didn't know him as well, but like I said, my name and my business was known and out there, but like I said, I didn't hang out with him in those days when, I started breakdancing. He was around, as I discussed, in 6th grade, I was teaching the 8th graders, the whole school, how to breakdance in the gym before school, right? So everyone knew who I was, from 6th grade on, and so later on in life, and you see the video where he says, Mike would fight Satan himself and probably win. We were at a party one time, and he seen me show out and buck, whatever. So me and him and these two broads, his girlfriend Stephanie and this other girl, go to this party. And there's this guy, we've gone to this party, it's like, big time party, or not even a big time, 50, 100 people, a couple kegs. And we get there, and this guy starts talking shit to Eric and Stephanie, right? This guy, 6'6", 250, not muscular, but just this woolly, just this mammoth of a guy, right? I'm 21. I'm a hothead. I don't care. Like you heard him say, I fight Satan. So I didn't care in some of those days. So he's talking shit, and I get right in his face, and I'm pointing my finger in his face, and I'm looking straight up, and I'm 5'5". He's 6'6", and I'm punking him out. And I seen the expression on Eric's face when I turned around. I was like, wow, like he had mad respect for me after that, right? So he knew, I was down for the cause. So, we didn't hang out a lot, but there were times we hung out together. And quite often, more and more as the years progressed. And so he was around in some of my stories. He came over. There was this guy, Tommy Meddy, this kind of quiet, nerdy guy whose parents went out of town and had a pool in his backyard. And his parents were gone for the summer, and he had a pool. I got wind of that, and so I moved in, right? So I think I was 19 maybe at this time. I don't even think I was 21 yet. 19, maybe 20. So this kid's parents go out of town, and I'm having a parlay. They've left him, enough money to eat for the summer and to whatever. So he wants to flip some shit. And so I take his money and I go buy pot. And, I flood our little town, our little clique. And so, I survived off of that through the summer. Took a break from work. I remember there was a time there that I didn't work at all. Was just living and paying my bills off of just selling dope. So Tommy Meddy's parents went out of town, and me and a couple of dudes, mainly me, I move in, and he was the guy. It was his car that I took to Panama City and came back and got pulled over in a 92 and a 55, and I had pipes in my pocket and no shirt on. I told the story. It was his car, this guy's car, right? We drive to Panama City, we come back, we get pulled over. I haven't slept in 3 days, not from drugs, but just up drinking, hanging out. And I get pulled over doing 92 and a 55. The cop gives me tickets, pulls me out of my car, takes me and hit the front seat of a cop car and asks me, he says, you mean to tell me with all that shit in your pocket, son, you ain't got an ID or nothing? I said, no, sir. My pockets were bulging full of weed pipes, right? Big clanky metal parts and shit. But I didn't bring my wallet because I had lost my wallet on my spring break. So I wasn't bringing my wallet, my ID, I left at home. So he said, you ain't got no ID on you? No, sir. So he pulled me out and, got me in the front of the cop car, I gave him my information and wrote me a ticket and let me go without having the license. Anyways, that was Tommy Meddy's car that said this kid, So his parents go out of town, we run his house. I got his money, I'm buying dope. And he's surviving. He's not really making a profit, but, he's got me, living there. So I'm bringing chicks and dudes and, it's party every night. And he's got a pool. And at that point is when I discussed mushrooms were prevalent. I got a half ounce of mushrooms. I gave Eric and this girl, Stacy Millman, who was a friend of mine, Brent Hool, his girlfriend at the time. Eric was fucking our buddy's girlfriend behind his back, right? So this can be said, this is no news. And my buddy Brent, he's probably going to work or where, whatever. And Eric and Stacy are hanging out. And then come find out they're fucking. So they come over to Tommy's one night. And Eric's always been kind of like me, but even worse, conniving. And so, it's all the time, doing foul shit. Couldn't trust him with your girl, right? So, Eric's known to fuck with chicks. So he brings Stacy over to Tommy's house, and I eat a bag of mushrooms, and I give them a quarter to split. They split a bag. So when I lost my shit, I thought there was this thing that vacuums the pool, looked like a dragon, like come out of a snake. It looked like it come out of water and was attacking me. It was some violent, insane shit. I did a flip-off diving board and saw a tunnel vision every color of the rainbow. When I hit the water and I got out after thinking the snake was out to get me, Stacy said something, aren't you cold? And for some reason, it played on my head. I went and took a hot shower, and went in the shower. The shower itself was going back and forth in the tub, right? Back and forth. I'm walking back and forth in the shower. And I literally, I'm literally seeing like I said, the thing moving back and forth. I remember walking back, so I was way out there, you know what I'm saying? I come back out, Stacy and Eric are out there, and it just turns night, and every color of the rainbow starts melting out of the trees. Bizarre shit. Kind of like lost my shit there for a minute, I went the long way. What was I saying? Okay, so Eric was the type of dude, you've seen Eric, would maybe try to get over on you, but you couldn't trust your chick around him. I had this girlfriend that I had met in Panama City, and got her pregnant. She had an abortion, and after that we went to shit, right? So my car broke down, and Eric and Sean take me out to this chick's house, right? That I've been dating for a year. We lived with each other back and forth. My parents' house, at her house. It was her mom and her stepdad, and her stepdad was a coke dealer, and they had a pool table in the basement. I take Eric and Sean over there, and Eric's fucking macking on her. Piece of shit, So Eric, like I said, he was all the time trying to fuck dudes, fuck his buddy's girl. Fucking crazy shit. What was he saying? What am I doing? I'm thinking about this. I got ass backwards, people. I think I went the wrong way. I got sidetracked. Anyway, so Eric was that dude, right? Go after your girl, go after your whatever. He was the same guy that I was tripping on acid with this guy, and him and Sean kept coming to my house and fucking with me all day. Well, the guy Mike was there and kind of in on it, come to find out he's unlocking the doors and letting them in and, spook us out. We'd be, wigging nuts in my room. All of a sudden they'd just come in, and it was some raw shit. So, what's I gonna say? I just passed 2 cops. By the way, I'm on my way. Speaking of Cobb County, I'm in Cobb County. Marietta is in Cobb County. I'm on my way to the courthouse. I got to pay a ticket. I got pulled over a couple weeks ago. So Eric was that dude, right? So Eric was around in the days, in this day and time. Eric had just become a big drug dealer. Okay, and then so he calls his cousin now. Okay, his cousin's this guy Eric, 250, 6'2", 3", not muscular at all, maybe out of shape, but a big dude, right? Nonetheless, so he calls his cousin, lives in Texas, and he comes to stay with Eric for the summer. He's got 17 grand. You figure out what happened. So cliched that it is, always will end bad. So he brings his cousin down here. His cousin don't smoke cigarettes. His cousin's never done the first line of cocaine. He's had like a beer in his life, dude, right? Mom and dad I don't remember. I want to say maybe military or ex-military, whatever the deal was. He was coming down for the summer, and he had this cush life. To the point is that he was a square. That's what I'm saying, right? He was a straight square. So he comes down here. Eric talks him into buying and selling cocaine. So he likes the idea. Eric talks him into, buying some weight. And there were some very large drug dealers in that day. Eric and my friend Scott both had this drug dealer. I have to get back to the name. And he was a gang dude. He'd run like 2-3 school districts, right? And my friend Clint's the guy I fought with the guys in the club, and he kicked in the head. Clint's in a few stories. Clint used this guy, Eric used this guy, and Sean used this guy. But whatchamacallit? But I didn't know him. I didn't get to know him. And but they all did. So I was always. What I'm trying to say is, I had someone else had to get my weight for me. They were the guys going straight to the plug. I didn't have the plug like that. So I wind up getting a plug like that. Later on, I meet this guy Tony, this huge coke dealer. Anyways, this hadn't happened yet. So Eric's got his cousin, and I don't recall his name. It's not whatever I said. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And he gets his cousin to come down here with $7,000, and they move out of mom's house, and they move into a house, and they buy a bag of coke, and they're slinging, right? Well, no, excuse me, I take that back. Okay. The guy comes down here. Eric's got him start buying cocaine. They're living at mom and dad's now, okay? Because I can remember how I remember in specific is one of the time when the guy came down here. It was a square, like I said, and maybe a pushover. Easily conned into buying a quarter key, half key of blow, and it's party time, right? So, we all got in on that deal, and so I could get coke for cheap. I could just hang out and do coke for free. So during this time, this guy's Eric's conning him into buying a boatload of blow. And Eric has to go out of town or something. He's got to go do something now, right? Now, Buddy's here, stuck at the house, and in those days were pagers, right? So Buddy's here, and at Eric's mom's house, but Eric's gone. Eric's mom and dad are gone. It's party time, right? So Eric might have taken some with him, whatever, but Buddy had the majority. Buddy had the chunk. This was first starting out when this happened. It gradually, they moved out, and it turned into a different kind of saga and ordeal, right? But at this point, like I said, Eric went out of town, and his cousin's at mama's house all weekend, alone, nothing to do, and a huge bag of cocaine. And so he says, let's do it up. So I had gone and done like the most crack you could do without ODing and dying, damn near. We smoked several 8-balls one night, doing mad shit, right? Had all these glass accessories, all kind of, for the rich and famous type shit. We had $50 glass pipes, and was doing it right, doing it, G style, and cooking up balls at a time. And so it was plentiful. So one night during that weekend, he had this huge thing of coke, and so he's got to also convince himself that it's going to be okay. He could just take a little, and like Eric won't know, and like that kind of shit, right? But it's his money 100%. But whatever the deal is, he felt like he had to lie to Eric, and so this went on a lot, right? But that night, the weekend, they were out of town, and was looking at this fucking boulder of cocaine all weekend, and so he tells me I got to sell some of this, right? We're in the middle of this crack binge, and he tells me I got to make some of my money back. I say, okay, which plan? And he says, I'm kind of thinking of loading you up with quarter grams, and 8-balls, and going to Club Anytime and selling it. I said, I'm 21 at the time, maybe even, yeah, it had to be 21. Okay, let's do it then. Bad idea. Alarm bell ringing, terrible idea, but okay, you got all the free coke, let's go. We get geeked, we get shot, we make a deal, like I've got, my own, insane boulder just for me, and, right off the rip, so, I kind of had to do it. I owed it to him, so I go into Club Anytime, and that Club Anytime, back in this day, and maybe even still, was the hottest, and may still be, maybe or maybe not. One time it was the hottest club in Atlanta. That and back streets. And so they're next to each other. So like anybody and everybody in those days was going to Club Anytime and back streets. I discussed that. So we go to Club Anytime, and I'm loaded to the gill with cocaine, and I've got, serious charges on me, and I'm like thinking, fuck you, I'm go talk to him type shit. Nah. I might have talked to 2 or 3 people in the few hours we were there, right? Shot a couple games of pool, talked to a few dudes. You know, I wouldn't say I was paranoid, but I wasn't about it, you know. There's, you know, yeah, you can get drugs in those places easy and quick and easy, but they're known. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out there's going to be narcs and cops and shit in there, you know. Stupidest idea, but okay, like I said, I'm going to ask Ted and his notion. We're going to smoke free coke all weekend. So we blew out. And dude just went on and on and on with it. And, you know, that rock got smaller and smaller and smaller eventually. And so now him and Eric move out and they move into a house, right? So now, big wig, big pimping, right? And so, of course, and at this time, I had gone from not working to just started working, right? So I just started doing tables at Po Folks. Easy, quick job where I could get cash every day. Because, you know, doing that much had to support it, you know. Wasn't every day people was buying drugs. So like I said, I always had to have some money in my pocket. So it was a time there that I went, and right at that time when he moved in that house, I started working at Po Folks. And I want to say Eric worked there with me too. We were both working at Po Folks, and so he was there during that time. There was 2 girls. So I was at Masquerade one night. Me and Clint, I talked about that. Me and Clint went to Masquerade one night. We come out in the parking lot. This guy calls me names, calls me cheapskate. This bum outside. He follows me into the parking lot. I get jumped by like 5 guys. 2 guys were fucking with me. 1 guy hit me. There was a guy my size that I fought, and he maced me. I was maced while tripping on acid. Me and Clint went to Masquerade one night. Police came. Shining the light on my friend Clint, who was hiding. The 2 girls that I worked with, the Po Folks, I never even thought that might have been a coincidence. That, you know, crazy coincidence, whatever. Those 2 girls I worked with, the Po Folks, were the 2 girls in the parking lot that seen me when I was knelt over, blind. I was tripping on acid, and this bum, these 5 skinheads and this 1 dude with long hair circle me in the parking lot, and there's no one around, right? And so I have to fight this dude, and then when I do, like I said, he maces me, and I go down, I'm blind as fuck, and then I hear, a few minutes later, I'm alone, and hear those girls' voices I hear. Mike, are you okay? Because I'm like, you know, I'm knelt down, I'm like holding my face and shit, like, holy fuck, what the fuck? So they came over and said, Mike, are you all right? I just said, I think I had long hair. I think I had long hair at the time. It was right before I went to jail. When I went to jail boot camp, my hair was to my shoulders, all one length. But this might have been a year before that. It probably wasn't near that long. And so I remember I had enough hair like I was having to do this type shit. And so the cops come and they call the police. The police come and they wash, they rinse my eyes out. The cop does my eyes, and I come to where I can see now. And I've been hallucinating, tripping on LSD, right? And so now when he puts the saline in my eyes, I can see. And another one of these ugly experiences. So anyways, Clint's part of that crew. So you know the story. Like I said, me and Eric worked at Po Folks, and there's 2 girls that I worked with were there and helped me when I got maced at Masquerade. So during that time, me and Eric worked at Po Folks together. You know, we'd get $50 a day, guaranteed, so that would help. And he moves into this house, and I take a girlfriend at the time over there, this girl Stacy, and the first Stacy. I take her over there, and we're doing coke and smoking rock, and I gotta go to work. And so I go to work, and Stacy and Eric stay and smoke coke while I'm at work the whole time. And I'm mad, I'm heated, you know. I could just about know it, you know. My license and car situation was fucked up at the time. I said I had some problems, suspended license, all that. This was in those days. I remember Eric was my ride to work. So him and Stacy take me to work. I'm like, oh, we'll be here when you get back. Dirtbag, you know. So on with it. So yeah, those were insane days and times. So when they move in a house, now things are a little tighter. You know, they got rent and bill and all that, bills, etc. So I'm over there one night, right? And I go over there with a slew of my boys. 3 or 4 of my friends, at least. So some of my friends had money. So I was always, all the time, hustling and getting people's money and going and getting drugs. A lot of times people would know who I was getting it from, too, and already know the deals. They would have to come in, whatever. So I bring my boys into Eric's cousin's house one night, and Eric's got a girl. He's got a girl in his bedroom, right? And she don't know what he's on, right? He's trying to hide this behind. He's got her in his bedroom and the door shut, and Eric will come and run in and say, hook to me, get me up a hit, and he'll go in there and do a big ass blast and blow it out, and then go back into his bedroom. So the girl didn't know. So we're all bowed up, like 5, 7 of us deep, 5, 6, 7 dudes in a bedroom that only comfortable for 3 dudes. There's way too many people in this room, and crack pipes are going around. And so Cousins doing the lying thing again, right? Telling Eric, putting shit out, and being like, oh fuck, all right, I'm gonna say you gave me this money, and he was pulling his own money out that he had on the side that Eric didn't know, and paying his coke debt all the time. So we're in there, smoking mad crazy crack, and blowing through 7 dudes. We're blowing through a 50 piece in a matter of minutes. In a matter of a couple of hours, you've done smoked a couple of 8 balls already. So those were crazy ass, wild, wicked times. That was the type of shit that I had done in those days. And like I said, I'm not proud of it, but that was the start. And so there again, so I had this girlfriend, Natalie was the stripper, right? I can remember we go to this, we all are partying. My girlfriend time had some friends, so like we were all the time hooking up together and going out with them type shit, right? So they had this girlfriend, Shelby, and her boyfriend. So they was around those days, and so we all crash out at this house, right? And me and Natalie we're dating, but we haven't moved in with her yet. So we're just boyfriend, girlfriend, just starting out really. Eric goes over there, and we all just pass on the floor pretty much, right? One of those type of deals. Too fucked up, drive home. Not enough couch space, etc. What I remember, we didn't have nowhere. We all was laying on the floor, and Eric goes over there and he puts his arm around Natalie. And I'm thinking, you piece of shit. Me and her had come there together, when it was obvious we were dating. And he pulled some piece of shit. He went over there and put his arm around her. And I thought that was some fucked up shit. So yeah, Eric, that's some fucked up shit. I hope you've grown and learned and ain't like that. Eric's done many a jail stints, and so I know he's fought a lot of demons as much as I have, and probably I'd say much more. So this is the story and the tales of 21 years old, and this is right before I go to boot camp. So like I said, I went to boot camp when I was on my 22nd birthday. That day they took me from county jail, which I had been in for 3.5 months. They took me from county to boot camp on my birthday. The day I turned 22. They actually took me in cuffs, pulled me out of the jail, put me back cop car, and drove me to boot camp. Boot camp jail. They call it probation detention center, but it's boot camp. It's like jail, but kind of a little more. They try to militarize it to same type shit and stuff they use for the military. They use their same tactics: break you down, build you up, same type shit, right? So I went on that was 3 months. I was in 3.5 months in county jail. On my 26th birthday, took me there. So in those days, that was the days, there was me and Natalie. I think Eric had a girlfriend. I don't remember which and what. He's always been, one of the friends is Chrissy Chance. Shout out Chrissy if you get to see this. Love you, girl. Chrissy she's married. I'm married, so don't take that wrong if you see this, Chrissy. Chrissy was Dick Delicious and Tasty Testicles had lead singer Jay. Chrissy was Jay's boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Natalie's best friend. So we were, like I said, we were all the time hanging out. So I went from spending most of my time partying with Eric and Dan and all them to these other people. So Chrissy, when I was in boot camp and my girlfriend fell off almost immediately, Chrissy wrote me letters the whole time in jail. What the fuck am I at? I'm damn brain dead. I'm not stupid today, people. So that's what it is. That's what it do. Wow, 30-minute one. Hell yeah. I hope y'all love it. Stay ADD. I was gonna go show you guys. I'm on my way to the courthouse there. I've been going retarded, people. I ain't gonna lie. I should be taking something for my ADD. I get like all over the place. And I know I could just take some medicine and probably go away and help. But it would go against a lot that I stand for. You feel me? I'm not about it. You know, I'm not about feeding kids drugs. I wish it wouldn't have happened to me. You know, I may have flunked out of school, but you know, there's got to be another way. And I truly always think. Here we are, Cobb County, Marietta, Georgia. I got my new bank. Me and my parents used to go eat hot dogs right there. Cobb County Courthouse. This is downtown Marietta, Cobb County. Right down there and straight and around the street is where I used to go to court when I get in trouble in Marietta. This is where I got to go. They call it the clock tower. Clock tower right here. Yeah, that's some weird shit. I never even thought about that really till now. I'm gonna have to get off here for sure. Oh shit. Damn. You know, see that? I almost got in a wreck right there. Man was crossing this. I started to go in the car. I was gonna get, oh wow. I had to stop dead in the middle of the road, Cobb County with the courthouse. I'm gone.